Okay, when you're ready. Just messing. Anyway. So, my presentation today is all your devices can be hacked. Radko Sosek, he's a Czech, and he was a career car thief and a high-tech criminal. Using his laptop, he could break and steal a high-value new car around in the neighborhoods that he prowled around. Eventually, he was caught, though. And in an interview to the Prague Post, he said, "You get out of your car, you lock it, and you walk around to get to your house. That's all the time I need to take to steal your car." Adam Laurie. He's a chief security officer and a director of a networking company. Out of sheer boredom one night in his hotel room, he investigated the TV's handheld remote, and he found out that he could access premium channels, other hotel guests' accounts, and the hotel billing server. Joe Grant. He's an old school hardware hacker. When he was a teenager, he joined a group that was a hacker collective called Loft Heavy Industries. They are responsible for finding early vulnerabilities in Microsoft's Windows, and in 1998 they testified to the US Senate that they could shut down the internet in 30 minutes. Barnaby Jack. In 2010, he found a way to make ATMs throw money at him. Now, why am I telling you all this? You see, guys, the technology we've grown to trust and use, it's vulnerable, and it can be used to attack us. We are so flippant with the info that we put out on the internet that it's not hard for someone to find it and use it. From our cars to our phones, it's not safe. Now, there's two different types of people who can use that information. There are those who are the good people, such as the government, and the bad people, like criminals. They, because both invade privacy in similar fashions, we kind of need to understand what it means to hack. What is hacking? Well, Michael Davis, who wrote the book Hacking Exposed, wrote down that hacking is the unauthorized act of trying to gain access to someone's technology or entry, knowingly doing so. I'm here to tell you about what and how devices can be hacked. But before I go into that, there needs to be some groundwork laid out for the rest of this presentation. Joe Grant, the Chief Security Officer, this quote he had on systems says that all electrical systems require a legitimate way to access them for maintenance, for diagnostic information. If there are legitimate ways to get in the system, those legitimate ways can be used to attack the system. Pacemakers. Raise your hand if you know what a pacemaker is. Pacemaker is medical equipment implanted next to the heart. Uses electrical impulses to help regulate the heart. In 2006, they were created with wireless capability. Essentially, and in theory, you could send a signal to that pacemaker that could cause a fatal heart impulse. Avi Rubin, who did a TED Talk on hacking, says that his fellow researchers found a way to reverse engineer the hacking protocol and send whatever the signal they wanted to that pacemaker. Barnaby Jack himself, in 2013, he could either shut down entirely that pacemaker or send out 830-volt shock straight to that person's heart, only from 50 feet away, up to 50 feet away. He could take someone's insulin pump, send it a signal to release 45 days worth of insulin into your body from 300 feet away. Cars. You all drive a car. I mean, you're all at this school. I know you drive a car. Cars, every car that comes out that's newer and newer is more and more advanced. Computers control cars nowadays. Underneath the car, you can attach a certain device the size of an iPhone to the wiring underneath called the canvas. And it can have wireless control over that car's systems. Researchers have been able to prove and demonstrate stopping the brakes, making them quit working. They can make your steering wheel jerk whichever way they want. They can make the engine cut out, and they can feed false data to your dashboard, like telling you you have a full tank of gas when you have very little gas, or that you're going 45 instead of 65. Smartphones. Okay, I have a dumb phone. Who has a smartphone? All right. I'm safe, haha. Smartphones, there is very little technology out there that has as much information on you as that smartphone does. Your smartphone knows your exact location, has a whole list of people, of everyone you know. It has a microphone, a camera, and to top it all off, it's Wi-Fi enabled. Which means whether you like it or not, that phone can, and probably is, being used to spy on you. Roman Espejo, who wrote the book Smartphones, The Opposing Viewpoints. Do you know what opposing viewpoints is? Yeah. There's a lot of sources titled with opposing viewpoints online. He wrote this specific book, and he details how an investigation went into 101 random software apps for your smartphone. They ranged from games to a plethora of plenty of other software apps. That investigator found out that 56 of those apps are transmitting your unique ID, which cannot be changed or turned off. It's always there. Your phone's unique ID is being sent to other companies, either without your consent or without your knowing. 47 are sending out where your location is, one way or another. And 5 of them are sending personal information to unknown people. Anyone. You don't know who. If that wasn't bad enough, if that wasn't bad enough, Brendan O'Connor is a security consultant. He made this technology called the F-bomb. These little black boxes can be plugged in to an outlet, and they can act as an open network. Anyone who has their phone and it's not connected to a network, that phone will send a signal out, searching for any open network that it will accept it, trying to stay connected. If it's searching and that's active, that box will pick it up and it'll connect to that network. And the person owning that box will have all your information that you're sending out to it. All those background apps that you don't know about, they're sending a lot of information, guys. He put a whole bunch of them around the city. And sure enough, he caught a few flies. He caught people, and he could track their location throughout the city. And he could know where they are. He targeted himself, because he's not an actual criminal. He targeted himself, and he found out that his weather app is broadcasting his exact longitude and latitude. His news reader is giving out his real name and his email address. Luckily, he's an official and he's making the information known to everyone. Because if he was an actual criminal, who knows what would happen. So, how many of you are scared? Raise your hand. I could say that there's plenty of people working on this and you don't have to worry, but yeah, you do kind of have to worry. See, until people are able to understand the responsibility they have in their hand and not have to gloss over safety in favor of easy accessibility, there's going to be danger, guys. And there are experts out there who are working day and night to try and make better encryption, try to increase the safety. But some things you guys can do. There's a couple things you can do. Changing your password at least once is going to be much better than just keeping the same password. Because there are algorithms out there that can constantly try and retry possible passwords and set it on a machine and just wait. And eventually they might get it right. If you change your password, it won't be able to predict that. If you limit the amount of stuff that you put out on Facebook, if you're careful with the amount of what info you put out there on all these media sites, I mean, so many times I put out my real name and like number and information on sites, and then and those are just official sites. When you go online to play a game, you're putting in your real information. That can be found too. You have to be careful with what you put on that Facebook, because there's technology out there that can actually see what you're trying to crop out of that picture. So I hope you weren't doing something naughty in that picture for your profile pic. People in repressive countries, they know that by taking out the battery on the phone, they can disable the spying capabilities of your phone. So, when they're trying to contact each other and meet each other out in the open, they'll actually wave their battery up in the air to signal that they're also a dissident. Be careful with technology, guys. Thank you.
All right.